Factorio Space Age Deathworld Marathon episode 44. We are on Vulcanus, at least for now. We are pretty far through the game. We are down to just the infinite text left. We haven't done anything with the last science pack yet. We should think about that at some point soon. But we recently got the achievements for doing all the non-infinite techs. Our standard beacon is epic. Most of our base components are rare. Some of them are, epic when we don't need many of them. Rare roboports. We are kind of interspersing a bunch of different things. We recently threw down this blue science build because we are expanding our science, but it's a little bit sad about red ships, so let's kind of see if we can solve that in a cheeky way just quickly. If we ask for, say, 400 red ships, but then we only put them on the belt if we have in the logistics network. Oh yeah, we don't have any. This is not actually solving the problem. If we only have a nice surplus of red ships, and then we put that in a couple of places over here, then this will achieve nothing because we currently don't have the red ships. But if we had the red ship surplus, this would also solve the red ship deficit. I guess this is just a distribution problem at this point. Oh well. And yeah, at some point we're going to think about putting fusion power and railguns on a spaceship if we can solve not the distribution problem, the tungsten problem. We are also, we don't really have the labs to handle a build of this scale yet. Oh well. Vulcanus has a lot of things it's trying to build, which is pretty good. Actually, we might have some legendary quality modules sitting around. Let's check in on that just quickly. They're all the red chips, module upgrades. If we have spare quality modules of legendary, we would like maybe some of these quality module upgrades. Actually, we needed the speed module upgrades as well, didn't we? So these speed module upgrades, and then also these speed module upgrades. These are also still regular electromags, so we're just going to swing the upgrade planner over all of these things, not the beacons. The beacons in this quality build are kind of weird. We're doing a, rare beacon, epic speed module 2, which has the nice effect of taking away a little bit of quality but giving us a lot of speed. But let's just make sure we've got this in all of the other beacon upgrades as, upgrading beacons as well, and now we do. And then if we've allocated some of the legendaries, we should probably also allocate a bunch of epics as well, because we want to see that the next couple of modules coming out of the build are going somewhere to be useful. So now that's happening. And then recently on Gleba we added this kind of new science build, which is doing a train thing. We're getting some bioflux over here that's all happening at uncommon level, which I'm still not convinced is the best use of this fruit, because it is still a death world. We are still trying to get the most we can out of not harvesting as much fruit. And if we're on 16% quality, then every uncommon jelly is worth, what, 6 or 7 common jellies, and so we could put 6 or 7 of those into science and instead use the uncommons to do a better job of getting to rare, which we also need to do to get to these. We're not getting the bulk inserters across here. That is another thing we need to work on in Vulcanus, because that's where we're making the bulk inserters to fly them to Gleba to make the stack inserters, which are going to be part of the way we solve the red ships throughput issue that we've already talked about. A lot of linked issues, because we're just not getting enough materials into this build or out of this build. And there's a pile of beacons that we could upgrade to rare. There's a pile of other speed modules here which we can get around to upgrading as well later. But we're just, not getting enough stuff in. But we are not going to solve that right now. Do we need to put more coal on? We need to be doing a better job of processing the coal as well. I wanted to go and, address the tungsten problem. Let's actually look at Aquilo briefly to motivate the tungsten problem. Press the correct button. Aquilo was banging along pretty well. I made a couple more fusion reactors than we really wanted, because when we were setting up these things to not make too many of the things, grabbing stuff from the hub, I then also threw down this request box to be able to get things from this logistics chest that were, when we were swapping recipes, kicked things out. But then this inserter, I forgot to add the condition to. So it has the condition now. We won't make too many fusion generators, but also we did make, like, I wanted like 6 rare fusion reactors, and we only have, yeah, and instead of that we made 9, oh well, and we have blasted through all the tungsten plate. So this is the tungsten plate problem. Let's also, yeah, back over here in Aquila we are making vastly more science than we actually need, which is also why we are expanding everything else to maybe a full red belt of science, maybe a full blue belt of science. Also why we haven't upgraded any of these productivity modules, because we kind of don't need productivity. Although, I mean, do we have them just sitting in... We only have 13 of these things. Okay, that did not queue them, that moved them. Yeah, we may as well have these things in a build somewhere, and you guys are going to be the ones that get to see the empty belt first. So I guess we then later upgrade all of these. And rare science we are currently not making, we're just trashing the ice cubes because we would rather have this lithium for quantum processors, which is also kind of moot because we need to solve the tungsten plate problem. At one point we did have, where is it, down here by the science, that's not running because we're not getting enough stuff through. I'm kind of fine with that. Yeah, whatever. We used to have like a full chest of tungsten here and a bit more, but because of the circuit conditions we've set up, we are not getting as much through. I thought we were going to have a giant buffer, a stockpile of tungsten, and also a stockpile of rare superconductor that we were just going to pile into. In the case of tungsten, the artillery, it looks like we're not going to pile it into artillery, we're going to pile it into railguns and fusion stuff instead, which I'm still fine with. Yeah, down here is where we are doing a thing for the carbide, that we grab carbide from the belt. Are we... Is this chest blocked? No. We are just... Oh, it's coal limited. Okay, I was wondering if we were going to have to do something about that as well. You know what? If we're doing quality stuff, quality all of these guys as well. Do we want to then epic quality these? I don't think we need to. I think we've already got enough places for epic quality modules to go. Yeah. So we are trying to grab a bunch of this stuff in priority over science, because when science stops, this belt doesn't move, and then all of these spaces get uncommon stuff that we don't want to try and do with our module upgrades. And so that's the similar thing that's going on here. All of these belts have the uncommon stuff, but we're getting around that and also getting more rare stuff with a little inserter pattern. Yeah, a little recycler and inserters pattern. In fact, these ones probably are worth... jump into the map view, find rare... Actually, legendary. If we have legendary, are we closer to having... Because we did float over a bunch of the otherwise unused legendary superconductor. Cobalt Core, who is in orbit, probably has a couple of these and is requesting them, but I don't think that the planets are. So yeah, we've got this upgrade. Oh, we're gonna have to downgrade those when we put the things on, when we move it to the other one, isn't it? Okay, I wanted to request... this is the correct group, yes. Let's have Vulcanus request the electromags at rare quality, and then, yeah, we're going to go and solve this. We have not yet solved the tungsten problem, but we're going to go have a look at Fulgora, which is, yeah, doing all of the upgrades. We've got a bunch more electromags over here, which is nice, but Fulgora wants to be requesting in this group 20 of the common quality. So we're going to manufacture them here. Yeah, there's some more that we can shoot into space here as well, aren't they? Yeah, we're going to manufacture them on Fulgora, fly them over to Vulcanus. Yeah, manufacture them up to rare quality at Fulgora, fly them over to Vulcanus. Vulcanus will fire back the common ones that we can upgrade again, and so that is a way of dealing with some of the things that are blinking in the upgrade plan, which is nice. We can solve the rest of the tungsten problem, I think, with a similar thing. to this pattern. If we flip this around, not that way, this way, and put it here, and then we are asking for the legendary quality modules, I think we would rather, because we have these quality modules, we have a lot more of this kind of quality than the other kind of quality, but then we need to change this to less than rare tungsten plate, and then ask the network if they, what is the rocket capacity is 250, so if we are looking for rare tungsten of, say, less than 400 in the logistics network, then we will also be grabbing here, and then these guys need to change what they filter from the tungsten carbide to the tungsten plate, both of less than rare quality. And now these guys have got those upgrades, we can, okay, yeah, also from the map, cool, grab the legendary, because we do care quite a bit about, okay, we do care quite a bit about having, I do not set any quality. What are we doing? Come on. And I don't think we don't have any of the quality, we don't have any speed, we don't have any module 3s at less than rare quality, except for the speed modules that we are directly upgrading to rare quality. We are only dealing with module 3s of rare quality or better, and that tree is, yeah, I guess I'm picking all those, going to put those in the bot network. I guess we're not doing that either. Oh well. So now we should have, why are you not? So why aren't you, why? Oh, because we've got four of the rare quality. This is a possibility that we could have. Do we want rare quality science? I don't think we want rare quality science. I think we would rather have, say, even just right here, a thing that looks for rare quality and, you know, only grabs a couple of them. And I think we are getting rid of this later, but being able to have some rare quality ones, being able to keep all of this moving will be good. And then I thought we upgraded one of the train processes. We did not upgrade the other train process. Okay, that's fine. And then, yeah, I think we actually, so we've got some of these upgrades fired in. Let's fire in some more to make sure that we can keep doing stuff. Yeah, we'll get all these guys upgraded. Push these guys into the queue as well. We would like to be able to upgrade this stuff, and then I believe, oh yeah, there's epic stuff over here that we're also not doing anything with as well. I believe that we have set up Cobalt Core in particular with the requests to take this available on Planet Zero. Yeah, oh, because we're currently on Factorio, we would not be able to see them anyway. We have the requests to take, yeah, don't worry about that. We have also apparently blasted through the superconductor stash that we had, but some of our other ships should also be taking that over to Aquilo, and then we've got, yeah, we've got a decent number of quantum processors that don't matter, because we also don't have the tungsten to turn into the fusion generators. So that is the tungsten problem that we talked about, which is hopefully now solved. All of these guys are running. Maybe we need to expand either the tungsten mining or just this processing. Wait. This, we want to do this differently now, because this is, this belt we now would rather dropped in here where we can get to it from all the parts. So we can take this piece away without damaging the side loading. We can run this through here, and at the point the Vulcanus Triumphant music arrives, we're not going to do that, because we will, oh actually no, it's fine, because we're side loading here. One of these train stations will take priority over the other, but I also don't care which, because we're just going to get all the stuff out. And then I have some rare, I have some different kinds of things. It's fine. Okay, so we have solved, and you guys are unlimited, and it's fine because we're only adding stuff when we are short of the tungsten, so that is fine. The other thing we are looking for is, okay, we've actually finished them all now. The rare quality bulk inserters, of which we have now sorted out. But there's also one of these, is it this one? Yeah, this, actually just wander over there rather than looking at it from a long way away. We are flying a lot of materials over here with logibots to try and make bulk inserters, for which we will... I mean, we need the rare ones in here as well, don't we? Yeah, you can have most of my bulk inserters. Is this going to give us... Is this going to give us a gears problem? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I want to be flying fewer of these guys across, and so I think what that means is this... This is nearly except for the... Yes, so there's the inserters as well. Those are all... These are all recipes that have the same... like, time for construction, aren't they? Other than the... Yeah, half a second... Half a second... Half a second, okay. I was going to do more of this, but maybe we end up doing less of this. Because somewhere over here... Closer to... Oh, how is the steel... and quality going? We're actually using... The bots are somehow finding a use for the epic steel, because there's no epic or rare steel here. It's a bit of rare steel, but the common and uncommon is... Maybe we could... Okay, you are only going to run if the common steel in the network is less than, say, 2,000, which should still be a whole lot, but will also mean that this steel, which we are also just going to move a bit to make sure we have a lot of space for it. Yeah, all this steel can go back in the logistics network, and yeah, we can have a lot of place where steel goes, and then this one that is not quality will only run if we are actually short. Yeah, if we are running low on... But I think this also means we should be... Like, this makes me think that we should be upgrading a large amount of this steel. Where is one of these? Not there. Let's put it here. I think... I mean, this isn't what we were over here to do, but it's what we are going to do. Where is a... Oh, you guys not quality inserters? Wild. I thought I had replaced most of this with high quality inserters, but we had not. Where is the steel problem that we are solving that we previously did not realize we had, but it's probably fine. Can we get... We can't really get this into... I'm trying to figure out where we can put a recycler. Recycler goes here? Yes. And then we just put this in the network, and then also... Do we have rare fast inserters anywhere? Whatever. We are probably fine for having these rare fast inserters. These are the modules you want because we actually have those. And now... This is going to do everything we need, as long as we connect these two inserters to the network to make sure that we don't run out of uncommon steel. I don't think we have a huge use for it, but whatever. And so now if we power this thing on, okay, bigger pole, like so, we will take some of the uncommon steel out of these two boxes. Do we also, I think we just then go blacklist on uncommon steel? weird workarounds, sure. So the uncommon stuff should not end up in these two boxes. The uncommon stuff should end up over here, and we should be recycling that into better steel, which then doesn't go back into the... Oh wait, we yeah, do that as well, and then upgrade all of these modules when we get them, upgrade all of these modules and these modules when we get them. No big deal. Whenever we need a couple of hundred, that's fine. So we have the uncommon steel, which we do not seem to be using. We can trash through this loop and just put more rare steel on the network, which we are apparently using, so that's fine. I was going to do the bulk inserters thing. So the chips are just here and the gears are just here. So if we could have in this vicinity, and I think maybe like right here, I think if we move this one down by one tile, we can go normal inserters into fast inserters into bulk inserters, and the only one of these we do with quality is the bulk inserter. And then we set up some logi requests here, and then immediately, yeah, start asking for... you are the one, you should have got this over the uncommon ones. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, ask for these upgrades as well, and then probably just bulk and... Oh wait, if we are... This is going to need to be here, so that we can bulk inserter this stuff in, and still just faster inserter this and stuff around the place. The only one of these we're building with quality is the stack inserter, but now we've got a place that is presumably much closer to where all of these things exist in their boxes, that bots will have a better time just... yeah, moving shorter distances. If we could actually get this power pole in here, thanks. We had a couple of legendary and epic inserters sitting around, so that's what we're using. And now these guys can move over to the other location. You know what? We've got some epic assembly machines too, so I think we use these as well. And then the problem might be the green chips, or maybe the red chips, because we also saw that those were an issue. But I think we can get this situation better by just speed moduling a bunch of these guys and then not even paying attention to exactly what rates these things fall in. But we've already got epic inserters here. Yeah, this is probably going to do a thing, right? We might get some more green chips out, that's all fine. Let's look at the tech that we need to do. Let's just line something up. I think plastic, oh wow, plastic is a long way away, 150. Maybe we're not doing that. Maybe asteroid productivity? Maybe we should just keep going with the railgun stuff, whatever. Okay, so we've got a whole lot of bulk inserters over here that are getting built by, yeah, a much nicer process that's just waiting for green chips. Oh well. So can we stop bots flying all of this distance? And I think we can. I think we turn my bots off, because this is going to be a mess in the logistics request. We get rid of all of these things. This assembler needs to stay, because we need to be able to reprocess stuff out of this box. But then we want over here, instead of 1,000 bulk inserter parts, we just want, yeah, bulk inserters. 50 is probably more than we need. Probably 20 of these, and then let's also request over the uncommon bulk inserters, because we don't want these either, and these can just get directly in the furnace. And we do want to control... oh, we're short of plate here as well. Super interesting. Oh no, wait. We don't need plate. We're probably still... this is an iron chest. If this was a provider chest, we might be taking this iron and putting it elsewhere. I think we're still going to run into problems with this backing up. In fact, we've got a lot of epic stuff. Even though these rare ones were the ones we wanted to ship around the place. We're actually going to use these epic ones for a bit just to get a couple of epic inserters that are still going to be helpful, just to empty all the epic stuff out of this chest. So now we've got some epics and some legendaries, and this stuff is being delivered, and it's fine. We need to bump up these limits because bots are still just taking a while with it. Back to rare bulk inserters, the ones we actually wanted, to fly them to Gleba to upgrade into stack inserters. So yeah, having done all of that, we can now actually do the Gleba centric thing that we wanted to, none of which was, none of what we were doing was really what we wanted to be doing. I guess it was still helpful. It's going to be stuff that's going to be useful to tick over in the background. In Aquilo, have we actually made any? We have not. We are still just waiting on the same amount of tungsten plate, which is still, it's a lot of tungsten plate. Okay, sure, I guess that was going to be a thing. We are back on Novice to address a couple of problems in the form of we have recently boosted the Gleben science and it's starting to build up and we're not really doing anything with it. There's a whole host of problems connected to this. First of all, we aren't making all the blue science here that we would need to, which is also why we were making it at Vulcanus, but we also will need a way to get it out of the hub. We're also not making enough green and red science, although we've laid some of the preparation for that by extending the smelting. Yeah, more stuff coming down. Do we have blue science in the hub? We already might. And the other related issue is we need to extend these biolabs because we're not going to be able to process the science at a rate that we need to. Can we just like start researching a bunch of health, because this is a thing that doesn't need the blue or the red or the green, and will probably do a much better job of utilizing all of the labs while we figure out what the rest of the plan will be, because we don't want this stuff here. In fact, I need to go and get my things because I'm pretty sure there's a helpful blueprint in there that we have thought about already. Yeah, give me all of this stuff. And there is indeed an epic biolabs pattern, but we need to go and adjust this pattern a bit. So let's get out of build range of, my bots are off, and then we need to poke a couple of things about this blueprint first. In particular, epic speed modules, epic beacons, that's what we want. We've got all the requests on these. Yeah, we've got all the science requests set up, which is nice, but we have legendary speed modules, which we don't have, and epic labs, which we also don't have. So, a lot of pollution, novice things doing novice things. We need to step this down to an epic quality biolab because that's what we have, and then also epic quality prod mods because that's also what we have. And then we're going to need 2 copies of this, aren't we? We are going to need a blueprint that has the request in it as well. Why did we not? Yeah, this with the requests. With the requests, find the request box, yes. But this is not the one we are going to build, because then we'll fill up all these boxes with science, because it's still, I guess we could try and put it like in the build area, but not the logistics area. That sounds like a mess. What we're going to do instead is take out all of these things, blueprint this again, and make this one the tiling one, for which we need to decrease the height and the width by 3, so it will tile around the beacons, yes. And then this is, did we set that to absolute position? We did. Okay, so I think we want about 20 of these labs in total. Where, actually, let's do it this way. Let's, how many is that? That's 16. So if we do this is also not the densest beaconing we could possibly give it, but I am okay with that. And then this is this the 20 labs we wanted? It is. How many labs do we actually have sitting around in the build at the moment? This box, 13. Okay, so we've also got the 5 epics over here, which are fine. Yeah, these guys are banging away at the advanced science pretty... We've gone up to 1.7k because that's what we are doing with our labs now. That's nice. It's probably still not using all of the Gleben science. Yeah, this other chest is building up quite a bit. Oh well. So I think we could also... Partly I wanted to get... Okay, there's also an oil pipe in here, which we have... Okay, the reason to do this here was to... yeah, now we've reconnected this. To figure out how big this build was going to be, but we've already kind of messed that up by doing it over the top of some other things that we wanted to keep separate. So, yeah, don't deletion plan those. Don't... Make sure those networks are connected. This oil is still going through. This stuff we wanted to... Yeah, okay. I guess we can do that later when we put the request boxes back in, but basically I wanted to know how big... Did we get all the pipes? Yes, sure. How big this build was going to be, and then get rid of all of these things, so we could figure out, yeah, this oil pipe, maybe we move that. Does this build fit here? Does this build fit here in a way that I like? Because we might also just kick it across the street and do it over here, and I like that more. There's a bit of logistics off to the side with the nuclear plant. Otherwise, I think we're going to start building this here. I think we're going to be fine with that, and then I have roboports. Actually, the thing we need to consider is... Okay, so I guess this roboport's disappearing. I guess this roboport is disappearing eventually when we're doing the logistics supply for the biolabs and snap it off the grid. There's no fuel boxes down here, so we don't actually need these things. It'll be fine. You are also not fueled here? How do you get fuel? That was not the thing I wanted. I wanted to look at this. You get coal fuel. I do not know how you get coal. Oh no, here's the inserter, hiding behind the power pole. So these are probably stone dumping boxes, which also means we don't really need... Like, there isn't logistics supply of fuel here, so we don't need this roboport either. And I'm trying to figure out where we can have roboports around this build, because the other thing we need to do is get a lot of science in. And can we have... I mean, maybe we should also be having roboports through the middle of this thing, but whatever. I think what we want to do is have 3 spaces here. First of all, we need to just get the rest of this build happening. And then if we have 3 spaces, then we can have a belt and some inserters and some chests, which will be everything we need to get the science into this location, which is good. And then... it's also within range of these power poles, which I like. Okay, move this to the side. Oh no, this is all... These things are 4 wide, aren't they? Actually, the our pattern is also this wide because we are going beacon, power pole, beacon, gap, which means that multiplies by 4. Like, that is a pattern that will tile with both roboports and beacons. So this is a build we can just make happen, which I like. Yeah, we'll get all of that running. Bots will work on that. The other closely related problem is how we get all of this stuff. Yeah, how we get enough of this out at the rate that we want. And this is also a problem we have to solve in we've got a while. We've got like half an hour, and we are also blasting through the spoiled packs first, so it's probably fine. But yeah, I had a couple of ideas about this. So, like, we can't just go logibots from here to the labs, or at least the entire point is to not do that. We want our own grid for the... What are we complaining about not having? A bunch of beacons. You are still requesting beacons. You are requesting beacons. You're requesting all of the stuff. That's all fine. Yeah, and then I was wondering about... Because if we're going to a full red belt or full blue belt of science, we would want to be stacking it onto the belt. Except then that means that we would need... Did we actually get... We do have these... Give me both of these. All of these things will be useful. We would want... The thing is, we're going to need a stack inserter for each, not just science, but quality level of science, because otherwise these stack inserters could get stuck carrying the wrong thing if they're alternating between sciences that aren't necessarily in here. So that's an issue. The other thing is, I want to see if I can come up with a plan to not have large requests of science sitting around in the hub, because part of what's going to need to happen is if we are boosting the science numbers, we're going to need to boost these requests. Like, I think we've already got... Pierre is a kind of ship that we might want more of later because it's got all the storage, and we're on Novice, so we could start to set this up. Yeah, we've got large amounts of science in here. If we did this with, say, Gleben science, then there is the slight awkward possibility that we... Yeah, because we're doing ×4 requests here, we could fly past the hub, drop down, 1,000 Gleben science, and then fly off with more Gleben science. So we want to be able to request large amounts of science if we need it, but not necessarily have large amounts of science filling up this space. And so I think... Did I get my combinators? I wanted to check a thing, because I know that we've got a... Yeah, on the circuit network we can have the set recipes, and then I want to check whether or not it will actually do the thing I think. If we say, just as a test thing, where's... oh, these icons have changed. Where is... Yeah, I wanted stone, because we are currently not requesting stone from anywhere, which means if we say set requests, we do in fact get a 1 stone brick request that also does not conflict with any other requests we have, which I like a whole lot, because I think that means we can hatch a plan whereby we can... Oh yeah, these are the epics that we don't have. Fine, sure. Do we actually... If we have the legendaries, then... Oh, yeah, all those upgrades we can do later. Yeah, because I think I want a plan whereby we just have a bunch of logistics storage in here, and this needs to happen with Blue Belt. Wait, we do have power range as well. That has worked out quite well. And then I guess just regular bulk inserters? Do we want to... Maybe we want to filter these for particular kinds of science? But this is also still only 1 belt in, and we need to be able to get multiple belts in here, and also this all needs to be blue belt, because the thing is, if we are pulling in... If we are hitting each of these kinds of science with a red or blue belt of each, then either this belt needs to be stacked. Okay, first of all, it definitely needs to be blue belt. Are we asking for the blue belt in the requests? We are, because we're not actually making it here, but that's fine. But yeah, we've got to have 4 or 5 belts of blue stuff in, like actual 4 or 5 different physical belts. Yeah, give me some more of... Bots, please bring me some of these so that I can plan things with them. Yeah, one belt of stuff here into the requests, into this logistics supply is not going to be enough to actually supply the number of things we want. Yeah, give me all of these. What kind of connection range do we get on these? This far? Okay. Yeah. Maybe something like this, because we're going to need a lot of belts of stuff through. In fact, we might have to bring in... Like, I don't think the yellow and... The red and green necessarily come in this way, because we can have a different supply for them. But something like... We have a bunch of belts bringing stuff in, we just jump this into these chests, which we can then use to do these logistics requests, and then somewhere we have... Yeah, done. These belts need to run outside the range of the roboports that will apply to the biolabs, so that we can, down here somewhere, have a bunch of logistics chests that are requesting things out of the cargo landing bay. So we can logistic request things out of the cargo landing bay at high volume, because that's how logistic requests works. Probably only bring them to about here, because this red-green build won't be here. Belt them all the way up through here, drop them in these chests, and then have a combinator set up maybe like this, where this says read network, read contents, and then we've got a constant combinator that has a low signal for... Yeah, I haven't done all of these yet. I'm still trying to figure out if this is going to do what we want. Or if we went back to astro productivity. Tech-wise, we should probably go back to health, because we probably blasted the red and green science again. It's probably fine. Yeah, a thing that says... And we're currently on the wrong logistics network, so we're seeing all of the stuff. We want to say if if each signal is less than some limit, can we also say... Will we get a cross product if we do this? If we say T for the science threshold, and we define this to be 4,000, if we say if everything is less than T, which is 4,000, output each input count 1. This is doing what we want, I believe. And then also the T signal is not present, because T is in fact not less than T, but I think this means that we can use this roboport network to read the contents of all of these chests, and then have this combinator set up output a signal which tells us which science packs we are short of, and as long as we list all the science packs we want here, but we're also going to have to do it at each quality. So for instance, I think we are manufacturing all 3 qualities of the metallurgical science, the lava science, and we might get more than this as well. But because there's the danger that if we miss one of these off this combinator, then each signal never actually picks it up. But we now have a signal of one of the things for which the network is deficient. Yeah, now these guys are turning up as well. And now if we add another constant combinator that adds an amount of science we request, we can have a combinator that multiplies everything from everything of the ones of the science we are missing by the signal M for multiplicationator to get requests of 8,000 of each kind of science. And if I change my mind about how many of those we want, here's the combinator that does that, and then we can just wire this back to the power pole and then use this to set the conditions we want. But we also can't set that up until we break all of this off the grid, of course, because the things coming out of this signal, we want to be connecting I mean, I guess we could also use... Using radars for this would be super dangerous, because we want to run this signal somehow back through the middle of the base to connect it to the cargo landing pad and using it to set requests. And if we connect it to the radar and potentially just request all kinds of things that are on just the global network. I don't know if radars not connected to anything yet. I don't know if we are using the global network on Novice at all. Looks like we are not. Can't click on that thing. Not sure. Never mind. Still, let's protect ourselves from failure modes by just being explicit about that connection. Okay. Could these be stacked belts? I think if these were going to be stacked belts, we would need a different request box for each kind of science, which I think still sounds super viable. So a plan like this is going to let us request a whole bunch of different kinds of science and then stack insert it onto these belts, so we can now be pretty happy that we're getting the right volume of stuff into the labs to not be belt limited by stuff into the labs. But I'm still not super happy with this, because this means that we have to have like just one specific kind of science and quality for each of these request chests, so that the stack inserter is still going to be able to move everything off that it can. We're also going to need to deal with two other things. We're actually going to need... Okay, so we're also going to need generic storage just in the middle of here somewhere. You know, whatever. Oh, I had rare biolabs. In that case, we can go further than this, because we've also got the other 5 epic biolabs coming out of the existing build. So I guess we're just going to go... where are we even fitting things? There we go, tile things sensibly, you silly person. Okay, so we've got a bit more space for more biolabs here that we can build. We're going to need generic storage. We are also going to need a thing going the other way that we're just going to run straight through the middle. Sure, because we want to be able to request 2 things here, but these can just be... Actually, they can just be like right here. Do we have... Oh, we definitely have connectivity range, don't we? Because we are powering the roboports from further away. We want to be able to request spoilage, and then we also want to be able to request upgraded biolabs and maybe even upgraded modules, as in we want a function here that can request the things when we upgrade plan all this stuff, to request the things to send them back to the main network, and also just to eject spoilage. And I think that could also just happen like this. Can probably just go here into storage chest, into actually passive provider chest, and then we just don't worry about it. So now we can get out. Let's move these a little, because we can we? We'll put them there. So now we can get spoilage out, we can get back. We've got a way for doing clever upgrade planner things. Are we even... Oh yeah, we're doing this dance again. Cool. And then the other thing I like about this is we can, when we're doing this transition, just make all of these things provider chests, and then automatically move all these contents over to this other position. So I think I like that quite a lot. In fact, this is... Oh no, we would need to snap it off the grid first. Let's check that we can actually do that. If this roboport goes, and this roboport goes, these guys also need this roboport to go, which is fine, because I think it's one we talked about. And now we have... Yeah, we're going to need roboports on the other side as well, and we also managed to not get... Yeah, we're going to need to be sending... I mean, those little bits of the build we can do ourselves, but we should now see on, for example, this power pole, a request for 87 mil, well, yeah, 60, 87? Where did I get 87 from? Nothing says 87. 64 million M, because that's just how that works, because we've set it up. And actually we could, yeah, if we can not have 87M, we are not going to have 87M, so we are just going to combine all of these so that the M comes from one color, the science request comes from another, and this way we are not exporting the request for 87M. But now, because we currently don't have anything in the science builds, we can use this signal to set requests on the landing bay to request large amounts of stuff at once. But we also need to be quite careful of the fact that these can vary significantly, because this signal will be 8K, for example, purple science, and even when a spaceship drops 8,000 purple science, bots are going to move it over here once we set up some of these requests. That purple science will make its way over here. It will start to fill up these chests. I don't really care which science goes into which chest, although I do also want to make sure that we've got, yeah, first of all, enough space for each science according to this request, but then also, if we double or triple count this thing because of the delay of it coming through the cargo landing pad and getting into those chests, how much more might we get? And I think we solve... Do I have this other blueprint of... Yeah, these guys. We should be able to slap this in now, shouldn't we? And we are going to need more roboports over the other side, which is fine. But yeah, I think we can... And we've kind of already done this. I think we can tolerate a system whereby we have quite a lot of requests in the network by the labs, and then this might get away with... I mean, 8,000? 8,000 is... 8,000 is 4 ranks. Is 4 rows in a storage chest. Which means we'll kind of, I mean, we haven't set it up this way, but we're kind of looking at 1 storage chest per science pack, and we have twice as many as we need on this side, because we have like 12 science packs. So we've got, if we're doing that request to 8K, then we are looking at roughly 4, yeah, I think I still am convincing myself that we're going to drop this a little. But I think with the snapped off the grid, yeah, we need to do the rest of this build. We need to... I think it's actually time to... no, I need to set up these requests first, don't I? But then also, the age of our boosted Gleben science, we are fine. We have poured enough of it into health at 1.7k science per minute that we are back to having huge happy timers for the amount of science we've got, which I think means we stop putting things in these chests. Does it matter? This might not matter. Stop putting these things in these chests. Actually, that's not the important one, isn't it? We needed to cut off... We needed to cut off chests to labs was the important one. Because the plan was going to be, yeah, let's go back to something that uses... This doesn't even use all of the science packs. What uses all of the science packs that we have? Asteroid productivity is kind of close to using all of the science packs, isn't it? Not that one. And then the other one was going to be the rate... Because the idea was... Actually, I no longer care. The other advantage of setting all of this up with these requests is if we just deletion planner blasted this entire thing, then the bots are still going to pull all the science requests over. Like, we're going to naturally empty all the storage of science requests when you do this, which is nice. But a thing we probably would really appreciate needing is figuring out where, and it looks like it's going to be over here. We are going to need more roboports around this little exchange, but also that's off, isn't it? More roboports around this little exchange, but also this one is too far. We cannot be connecting the roboports. So just over here, I guess. I was just going to check in with how all the other builds were going before we blasted this, because it's going to be a thing I need to focus on. And it's also struck me that we might have accidentally shafted our intent to build an upgraded red chips thing here if we have accidentally sent, okay, 39. We still have 39 of the electromag plants that we have not shipped back to Fulgora to upgrade them, because if we ran ourselves out of electromag plants, in fact, are we still... Oh, we've done all the electromag upgrades we need. Okay, I think we are still going to do a little request chest here that says, please bring me 40 electromags, which will protect the electromags in this chest from being sent to Fulgora to be recycled up to rares, which means we can still do the rare chips build when we want to. And we apparently have more foundation. How much more foundation do we have to play with? Can we get rid of this stuff and this thing? And then a little bit more down here. How much foundation are we? We have more foundation than that. Gleba is still not complaining about any damaged items, which is cool. We have all of that foundation as well. Also, these guys are all still normal quality foundries, and we are kicking around with rare quality foundries now. Okay, not in the mall apparently, and not for the concrete that we are never using. For rare foundries, let's upgrade. Checking in with Gleba. Gleba's still doing a thing. We're still making the science. We're still not making too many pentapod eggs, which is great. We are also cutting the nutrient shortage while we don't have bioflux in the science, because we want the bioflux to fill up to here. And yeah, a lot of Gleba things doing Gleba things. I don't know whether the passive provider takes priority over the hub or not, but never mind. Also a bunch of storage around the place because we are about to make a mess. Turn off my bots. How many bots have we got for this mess? 1,800 bots for this mess? I'm okay with that. Actually, give me also, where are the request... I must have more request chests. Did we really use that many request chests? We did. And we also don't have... We're still straight up missing request chests. Okay, so I'm going to go solve that problem. Okay, so a request chest we want to get... We want all the legendary beacons. Legendary beacons, we want all the legendary prod mods. We want all the epic quality biolabs. In fact, this is not the request chest where we want this to happen. The request chest where we want this to happen is another infrastructure request over here, actually. We're just going to have a thing here. Nice little fast and soda. We don't need all that many of these things. Request for us all of the epic level prod mods until we're done, and then also all of the rare quality epic quality biolabs, other things we have. We only have 5 of these, but we're going to get 10 anyway. These can go on the belt. These can go directly into, oh hey, the other problem we're going to have. How many? You've got a pile of construction bots. You only need a couple of construction bots. So let's see if we can get these construction bots back. 40 is an acceptable number. I'm going to need to bring over roboports as well, because we need roboport coverage on the other side. Not what we are concerned about now. Have most of these bots back, and then yeah, so we're putting the important things that we want to move to the other build in this box. We haven't set up any of these science requests yet. We're going to do that as soon as we turn off our bots, and with a bit over 2,000 bots, blast our entire bioport build. There we go. Have a good time, bots. Oh, beacons. Did we need to request beacons as well? All of this can go. And then are we straight up just for the moment putting red science red and green science in storage? Are we also just putting blue and military in storage? Everything else is going into storage already, so I kinda don't mind. And all these things that are coming out of the hub are also fine and can go away. Yeah, and then yellow and purple are down here, and we could already request those out, so those are fine. Yeah, let's not depower any of these biolabs. Biolabs, roboports. So I'm also going to need more bot frames, and my solution to that is going to be I'm just going to take all of these bot frames. I'm not even going to count how many we get. I wanted red chips, but I don't think we have. Are we not supplying red chips to Novice at the moment? That could be curious. Anyway, I'm just going to grab all these red chips in front of the science as well. It's going to be fine, and we're going to wander over to... I've got one basic inserter, which is going to be sufficient, and we can put it here. You're going to make logistics bots. That's your job now. And have a chest with all the stuff, have some extra power, and we do in fact have the, we have the epic tier. We have the 5 epic tier biolabs that we wanted. We want to get not that, we want all of these guys to be okay, let's make sure that all those get done first. Okay, no, we do somewhat need to downgrade these, and then because, oh no, they went in the generic storage. There's a pile of generic storage stuff that we are not moving out. Okay, because we want the 5 epic biolabs. Epic. We want these ones to have the legendary modules with priority, but then every other biolab that exists also wants the upgrade as soon as it turns up. Are you, and then you've also got, all of the roboports. You have things that aren't repair packs. I will have some of the bots. You've got way more bots than you need for a construction network. We need to set up, this thing. We did have the spoilage output. I need to get roboports. We need to set up the spoilage request here as well. I need to set up these requests because we are currently not doing science. I ended up taking this away and looking at all the chests for quite a while and making a blueprint with it, which is going to make a huge mess. But we now have all of the requests going into the various chests. This is going to give us some problems which we're going to need to solve. Each of these chests has one type of science of one quality, so we don't have to worry about the stack inserters getting stuck with hands like this, because we know the next thing that's going to be delivered is going to be the same kind of thing that will put it on the belt. There might still be spoilage things, whatever, we're going to sort that out elsewhere. We do have everything going on every kind of belt, with the idea that when our spaceships turn up, we will be able to dump large amounts of this stuff in quickly. I think we have 4 stack inserters. How are we going with... Oh, we don't have enough logistics bots here either. We should think about that as well. We have a total of 4 stack inserters per resource per science, which is hopefully going to be enough. Problems we are going to have immediately. We are going to need... Do I have my bots on, please? We are going to need all the rest of the... Where did these... Let's try and line these up with the bottom. Is it there? Yes. We are going to need the rest of these roboports in so that all the labs can get their deliveries. Where's this one going? Here? Do I have this many? Maybe. The next thing we're going to need is we're also going to need... let's grab this much of the pattern, but without the biolab, because we've got some differences in quality there. And then I hope I have enough chests and inserters, and I might to blast all of this around the place, and then there were a couple here we're going to do that we also need the trees in, so we might be restoring science quality. Yeah, there are a number of problems we are going to have. Okay, first of all, I don't have anywhere near enough request chests, so we're not actually running the science again. The second problem is that we immediately want to kick the science taxi group off this thing because we currently are not bringing the signal back that will determine. Yeah, we currently haven't set the signal up, and so we've just got all the stuff turning up. Actually, you don't matter because you can still. This is still in the logistics supply. It's just not requesting more science, which is fine. We have the green ships and red ships. Let's go and just make sure we can keep making these boxes. I guess we're going to do a lot of boxes because we're going to do more logistics bot work with it. I guess it's probably fine. Maybe some of these are running. In fact, none of these are running because we are also missing the inserters. Let's make sure we get those as well. None of those are... Oh, we don't have the inserters. Maybe we can just use bulk or fast inserters then. Yeah, those aren't even the real issue that I wanted to do something else with. Yeah, all these requests, all these guys are... Yeah, we're going to need more logistics spots in every place once all these are set up, aren't they? Can we also just do quickly... How many fast inserters are we looking for? 168 fast inserters? We have more than that of bulk inserters. So we're just going to throw together a quick upgrade planner that says fast inserter. I'm pretty sure they were rare, but we're going to look for any of them. Go to regular quality bulk inserters, because I have those. And then this thing can just swing over. Yeah, 170. We have those. Which means that all these logistics requests should just immediately be able to be placed. I probably could grab some more construction bots to help do this faster, but we should hopefully... Oh, you're still not getting red and green science. Why are we not getting red and green science? Red and green science were actually one of the ones we had to be super careful about. Because we are currently not limiting them at all. Like, everything else is limited by what we've got. Yeah, limited by what's happening with the signals over here, which are one of the things we need to change. And then, is it just that because we are getting the requests for, is it just that, yeah, we just don't have enough logistics spots, and we might also not have enough roboports. Yeah, you go there as well. We'll make more problems of this kind later. And yeah, one of the issues is this red and green science down here. Oh, we're also not putting this in the network. Yeah, all of these kinds of science, we are still just, like, we're not limiting these at all. We could potentially fill up the build, so we need to do something about that. The thing we need to do with that is bring this signal in properly, but it also struck me that we are going to have some issues when we are storing other things in the logistics network, like these epic productivity modules. Actually, we probably should have the epic productivity modules. Okay, only 5 of them, because we've still got another thing to build. Is that we are detecting that on this combinator and sending that as a signal back that we would like to request from orbit 6,000 wood and 6,000 maybe it's not a decider combinator, maybe it's called an arithmetic combinator that gets to do an AND operation, because we want to be able to check that only the signals coming out of this combinator are the ones which we push down this signal to set the requests from space, so that we don't also set requests for things that are hanging around in storage. But the thing about that is, output signals, okay, we've got to do this differently because we are checking the values as well as the quantities. Okay, so I've got to reduce this one slightly differently. We need all of these guys and then we need to check which of them are less than 4,000 in the storage network, and then we need to, yeah, basically swap the order of these two. Check that the things we are requesting are, yeah, check that the things that we are requesting are of the categories of things that we wanted for them from the primary combinator, and then multiply them by 6,000. Are we mostly running? I think also we are setting quite large limits of how much of each of these sciences we want to get in each request bin. And I want to use that to try and solve this problem as well, so that these requests will only kick off when we have, yeah, when we're looking at a shortage, but we've also got quite, oh, and also yellow and purple are going to be a similar kind of issue, as well as the blue and the military? Should we not? Yeah, the yellow and purple we are just transferring from one logistics store to another, which is fine. These ones are still also just running, but they're not running at a speed that is a bit of a problem at all. Yeah, we are doing all the tech. We are, yeah, we're continuing that. Okay, I've got to change these combinators around. Did I need to bring anything else in for the build? One more of these biolabs, another roboport. Oh, we needed, yeah, construction bots, didn't we? These guys are mostly fine. Because we're just not bringing in everything that we need. We needed more red chips here for those construction bots. Yeah, these combinator guys. This is now doing everything it needs to. It turned out to be as easy as just connecting this guy to the other combinator, but the other thing we need to do, which is going to be pretty important, is we need to set up here, oh, this is, yeah, we need to set up every other science pack that we expect to see. So that's not going to be interesting either. This is going to be not in the video. I think that's all of them. I mean, these are not organized in a nice coherent way, but also whatever red, green, the other basic space, the qualities of the off-planet ones that we're making. I've also thrown Promethium in as rare because we're never going to make it as less than rare. Maybe we make it as more than rare, but we make it via... The recipe for this thing is biter eggs, quantum processors, Promethium asteroid chunks. We're never going to make quantum processors at less than rare, and we also have a process for making biter eggs at rare, so I think that's going to be what we start this science pack with. Let's, yeah, I was going to check in with the Guantanamo biter nursery, but I also wanted to just check that, yeah, we are requesting every kind of science, which is cool, and so... Yeah, we're going to be requesting red and green and that from space, but it shouldn't be on any spacecraft, so I don't think we care. Let's go check on the biter nursery. Everything is still fine. Everything is still turning over. We have all of the inputs. We are just waiting for eggs. Oh, we've got a lot of eggs. We've got 4 How did we... Were we short on... chips? Okay. I was not expecting to go and solve this prop. Yeah, I was expecting to take that request down to... And we've also completely blown out the Coverix. We've completely blown out the... Actually, not these ones. Yeah, we've completely blown out the Coverix, so we'll just kick that off again. It's going to be fine. We have 4 minutes to use over 100 rare biter eggs, which is super interesting. That could have been a little bit unfortunate. We're going to turn a bunch of them into... Do I have any other... I've only got 2 uncommons. You guys are already uncommons. Do we want to speed module you for a bit just to get... some of these, yeah, like that's not going to be, get all of these things out because we don't really care about the quality. We'll just process a bunch of these. I did want, actually, let's grab half of these, do the longevity juggle, and now we've got 9 minutes, which is cool because I did still want biolabs. Are they 10 eggs each or 20 eggs each? Captive biter spawners, a bunch of stuff we're not dealing with. Hey, we're even blasting uranium, but that's fine. biolabs was what I wanted to look at. 10 biter eggs each. So if we get... Why are you... Oh, we're short on prod mods. I would have thought that we would have been fine for prod mods. This is going to be enough for another 12 biolabs, which we're going to upgrade. Okay. So why are we not... Vulcanus should have a ton of rare prod mod 2s just sitting around that we are... But we aren't because we are... I mean, we shouldn't be upgrading these things to prod mod 3s. We should just have... We don't actually have all that many rare prod mod 2s sitting around. Fascinating. We've got a couple. Where are all the rare prod mod 2s going then? Okay. That's going to be a thing we deal with later. We are getting, we're getting spoilage out. We're getting a whole load of prod mod 3s, which is, you know, great and fantastic. Here's the biolabs assembler with which we can turn all of those guys, because, you know, the rares are fine. We want to be juggling these to the epics soon. Let's also see if we can find ourselves... I was going to hope to find a little epic, or maybe better... I guess we've got a rare. I think it already was not a rare, was it? It was just a regular dude. And then do I have... I have some of the legendary... Oh, I already gave you the legendary quality modules that we got from the other location. And it also kind of doesn't... Do we have... We've got epics. We also don't have... We've sucked all of the rare prod mod 2s out of all of the systems, and you are still trying to get them. We just don't have them in the crafts, and we've emptied out... Yeah, we've emptied out all this... Yeah, we need to get that thing going again. Am I at least happy that... Oh yeah, we are definitely going to process these out in time. It's going to be fine. We are getting all the epic ones. Also find me, please, find all of the... You know, we never had this many uncommons, but I want to gather all the uncommons because we are going to be request trashing them as well, which means I think this guy's going to get upgraded. And yeah, those are all of them that we had. We have used up all of these biter eggs, which is fine. Some of the others might spoil, but I think we might go back to grab those eggs as well. The thing we need to do is this with its... Yeah, we need to drag... let's get rid of this big power pole, because I want to be able to continue connections with this big power pole down to, say, here, so that we can drag this signal through. This is supposed to be solving problem. It's kind of creating the technical debt as well, but at least all of these things, all of this stuff can go. We don't need any of these. I would also like to be processing out spoilage. I think that's maybe a thing we do later as well. Yeah, all of that spoilage. Anyway, this has got all the requests we want. You should just be able to go set requests, and we are now asking for all of the science. 6,000 is still quite a lot, but I think I'm fine with that much. Do we have... Actually, we don't need to worry about whether or not we have that much storage at this point, because we are now in a situation where we can, pretty casually, add a pile more storage. So we can accept having giant requests of this size that will all just get kicked into the labs. I am pretty happy with that. I've got... Yeah, there's a pile of stuff that I don't want in my inventory, oh well. And then, yeah, we needed more logibots. We had a guy here that was making laser turrets that we could also just pivot back to logibots. That was going to be always how this kind of worked. If we change you to logibots, shouldn't we also... We should also be grabbing these flying robot frames from space. Okay, everything is still a mess. Tech is advancing somewhat. As long as we don't lose too much Gleben science, I'm kind of fine with it. But also, any amount of Gleben science, we are still kind of also okay with the losing at this point. It's probably fine. This is going to make a vast amount of logistics bots eventually, but we're also not quite using them. Maybe the requests are done. What was I was going back to get the other biter eggs to make more biolabs. We're barely running them anyway. We can downgrade them to like worse quality, and I would much rather have the better quality in our biolab manufacturer at the moment. Hey buddy. Here's a pile of science. That's great. I did want to look at... Would you have brought... I mean, I think you just arrived. You literally just arrived. I wanted to see whether someone has any kind of Gleben science that's kind of been hanging around for a while. Oh yeah, Grondolf when Grondolf arrives. Grondolf? I thought you were on the Vulcanus loop. You are on the Vulcanus loop. Yeah, we're going to get a whole lot of Gleben science. All of that is going to go reasonably well. I think we need to go back to health to be able to blast all of these and not run out of them. But it's also just struck me that quite possibly this whole not having enough prod mods issue... Oh, these are also still the regular quality electromags? And we might just want to upgrade all of these, and then it might also be the red chips problem, which we are still short of red chips. That is still going to be an issue. All of these guys are... Yeah, it is red chips, isn't it? It is red chips. This is I mean, I'm gonna say what we wanted to see. I'm not gonna say it's desirable or good, but it is the thing we were expecting. We had like 20% quality. We made another 13 rare biolabs. I don't think we got an epic biolab, which is kind of unfortunate, unless we'd already set up this thing to... Oh, we'd already requested the epic biolabs. If we had made epic biolabs, we'd already requested them into the build. So we also don't know which of these chests would have been... We got an epic biolab. Okay, great. Thing is, we want epic biolabs in all of these places when we get around to building them, and then also we've got this biolab. Do you have... Yeah, we've got the correct kind of module, and the thing is, I need to bring... we don't need that rubber it's fine. So we are requesting spoilage out. We also want to be requesting out epic quality prod mods, and also rare quality biolabs, because if we drop in any of the legendaries or epics, we will do a replacement here, and we want to be able to recover the other things that we've pushed out so that we can so that we can continue with the upgrade process. I think this is actually doing... how many do we have? We are not fully utilizing, but we also don't have all the science packs we need. I think I'm going to take these bot frames back to the other network that is not struggling, but might be if we can actually push things at speed. I mean, yeah, we don't have any of... yes, because we wanted to do a thing... This is also not a long-term fix, he said, with the conviction of someone like that. Actually, we need to sort these by type as well. This one wants to be... use filters for any kind of red. This one wants to be use filters for green, and then also check that green science is bigger than 0. And then similarly for all of these guys except with military and military, and then also blue science and blue science. Did this? Not there. Here. Here is the blue science filter we wanted. Okay. that you get, you did not. So we should only be running these inserters if we are in the position that the signals... Why are you not running? You should be running. Greater than 0. Yes, we should only be running these inserters if the network is asking for the appropriate kind of science. He said, with this being an exact thing that we wanted to change. Yeah, so we're now dumping large amounts of space science down. If we are doing higher science per minute things, I think we go and find Becky and figure out what the space science limit here is. And the space science limit is 8k. You've got storage space? I reckon we could probably pull you up to, say, 20k. Is that going to be a problem? It's going to be 20... I think maybe only 12... Oh no, because there's 2,000 per row. So we're looking at committing 10 rows, of which we have many. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Minus 20k. Minus 20k. Hexacube is the other that is doing the science things, although Hexacube had a lot of other mall stuff, but yeah, actually does not have that much space. We're going to pull this one back to just 12, which is not all that much more than 8, but Becky is still doing a thing. Okay, we have boosted blue science, kind of, but we need to solve the red chips problem on Vulcanus. We have done the biolabs reorganization, and now we are just missing... We are missing the space science packs. Did Grondolf swing by? We got all of Grondolf's Gleben science. We have turned all of Grondolf's Gleben science into the health research, which is fine. I guess we can just go back to whichever of these railgun techs didn't need Gleben, and I think we are... No, we need to keep the concept of health around, don't we? Because we still haven't actually boosted our red or green science throughput, and the blue science is still struggling. But we have done the biolabs rebuild. It took a while. I'm pretty sure I'm reasonably happy with how it went. I might drag some of these limits down. Let's also just dispose of spoilage. Do we have a recycler around here? Just regular quality recycler? That'll do. And we're just going to go recycle into a box, and then also recycle into a box, and we're going to just go, yeah, actually here, this one, both of these, I think we're just going to go request any kinds of spoilage you like. Maybe we have other kinds of spoilage, I kind of don't care. And then also just process. And do it all again. Like, I am at this point super fine with just blasting all of the spoilage on Novice and not worrying about it. Yeah, we also have a ton of biolabs which we should look at upgrading to rare. I think it's going to be a very similar pattern. That may or may not be super interesting next time. I think we are done here. We've got the biolabs rebuild done. There's a bunch of upgrades sitting around. Vulcanus is complaining about not having a bunch of stuff. We need to make a whole lot more prod mod 2s because, yeah, I still don't quite get why Vulcanus is struggling for prod mod 2s. Let's check in with Aquilo. Have we built some of these reactors? We have. So this is another thing that we might play around with a bit, because I have not really looked at these yet. I mean, there is also a fuel to make. We'll worry about that next time as well. We're doing the fusion stuff. We're doing the railgun stuff. I mean, okay, we're not doing the railgun stuff yet. We can do the railgun stuff. Yeah, some things got done, many things still a mess. We need to upgrade the red and green science, which we didn't actually blast. Yeah, many things are progressing. of all episodes, that one ended up a little short. So bonus Fulgoran check-in. I'm pretty happy that the biolabs reorganization episode wasn't one that dragged on with science not running for ages. But yeah, helps to spin the plates, to just check in on the plates every now and then. And this one is mostly fine, still running. Spiral of Doom is spiraling. We are throwing away some red chips, and Novice does want red chips because Vulcanus is also short, so maybe we import those from here as well. The holmium thing is, yeah, doing whatever it can. I still don't know what we're doing with epic holmium. Maybe we're just recycling it up to legendary for like legendary armor and stuff. These guys aren't running because we are manufacturing electromags at uncommon now. Oh well. This train is pretty important because we're getting all the upgraded red chips from here, of which we are decreasing our buffer, and you're getting a pile of epic red chips that I don't necessarily know what we're doing with. Maybe we just fly these over to Vulcanus and drop them on Vulcanus, because Vulcanus is short of various kinds of red chips. We are not making electric engines because of rare green chips, which used to be on this belt with these inserters, but are now nowhere near it. So we are going to need to add a request for green chips over here at some point. Science is mostly pretty fine, mostly pretty running. Oh, this box is problematically close to being full. We're going to have to just... I mean, I don't really mind about these things at all, but having this box not fill up, pretty important to keeping everything else running. Rare prod mods, epic quality modules and legendary quality modules are things we should probably have on Novice if we're going to be upgrading our biolabs. But these are also turned off because we were only looking for 200 rares and then we stop. So that's fine. Down here, oh yeah, this little combat robots loop. Even though we're not actually using the combat robots, the other problem is that we built this before unlocking epic and legendary, which means that we have a whole bunch of clutter on the belt that we are just not processing. So first of all, clear all that epic stuff off the belt, and then second of all, because we're not using it, stop giving this guy ammo, thanks. Yeah, more epic holmium that we have no particular plans to deal with. Recycler upgrades, we've got a lot of recyclers over here. Recycler upgrades are also happening 53 7. I think we have enough recycler upgrades to upgrade this entire section through here. 56, yeah, but then we also need to be upgrading these ones, otherwise we won't be balancing the resources in the way that we need to. But also, we're already filling half a blue belt. This upgrade will only make sense if we're going to a full blue belt, which means we would have 4 full blue belts of stuff hitting Fulgora, which is fantastic and is what we want to do, but means we would need to reorganize a lot of this stuff, which is running and nice, but we would need to reorganize it. Yeah, this is currently this belt to trash a surplus of belt to recycler trash forever is already a way we're clearing gears off of this belt. Yellow science kind of is happening. We don't really care about yellow science here. We care about the drone parts, which we're going to fly back to Novice to combine with Vulcanus blue chips to make yellow science on Novice. So the fact that this yellow science is a bit low, not really a problem. Electromag upgrades also fine. I mean, we've got a couple of them. Sure, whatever. And then module, yeah. What's this? It would actually make a lot of sense to have another electromag somewhere that was doing the epic and, yes, yeah, the epic quality module 3s. In fact, maybe because we're spitting out these epic and legendary module 2s, and we've got the semiconductors on this planet, so this probably will just be a thing that we could hack in at some point as well. Science is okay, so yeah, full chest of science, we like that. Full chest of science, we like that. Legendary and epic stuff is not something we have built the labs to deal with. And oh, as we say that we are Oh no, it's only this belt that's backing up. It's fine. We are still just spiraling of doom everything, and we have not upgrade trashed the recycler of doom, so I think that's fine. Can we? Is there a rare recycler somewhere that we can just, because we know we do have a bit of a surplus of them, just upgrade a couple of these guys, and then these ones that are kind of on the main ingestion pattern, because we've got enough recyclers sitting around to do that. It'll be fine. And then, yeah, I don't think we want this science at quality at this point. What kind of prod mods do we have sitting around on Fulgora? Yeah, more module 3s. We did bring over a bunch of rare quality module 3s, which I think is going to be what we use for the science, so that we don't have to deal with too many flavors of Fulgoran electromag science in the requester labs. Are these the right way around for the fluid connections? I think they are. We are going to need to beacon these now, because we've just taken... yeah, we've gone from minus 25% speed to minus 75% speed, so that is a hit. That is going to be pretty rough, but we could beacon these guys later. Yeah, Fulgora generally pretty happy with what we're doing. We are going to need to... I think we're going to have a trip over here, because we want to... when it's going to be ages before we fill up the legendary epic science enough to automatically launch a rocket, so I don't want to put it in the requests. Also, it will be a pain in the new requester biolabs thing, but we also want to grab these legendary modules. Yeah, and then everything is going generally pretty well. Oh, I wanted to check in on this box here. We've got a pile of upgraded blue chips that we need. And did we also have... I thought we had somewhere over here another little grabber of upgraded blue chips. Actually, these uncommon blues I have nothing to do with at all. So I think in addition to the green chips request over here, we figure out how to request some of those uncommon blue chips over here to trash them into the better blue chips, although we're still going to have the problem where this chest ends up with a pile of epic and legendary stuff. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with that as well. I think you, for the moment, who is not doing anything, can do a bunch of, yeah, epic blue chip upgrades. Plate spinning, it's fine. Fulgora's fine. We're still producing things. Why are we not? Because we don't have any electromags. We have maybe some... do we have an uncommon electromag sitting around? I think, no. I think Fulgora, of all things... or maybe if we have... maybe we have one going into... no, we don't. Okay, fine. Legendary? Legendary electromag for this? Sure. Yeah, I think there's a lot of other electromags around here we could be upgrading, but maybe that's also a thing... yeah, all of these guys as well. Maybe that's also a thing we do when we get around to mythical future Fulgoran recycler belt upgrade. I think we're going to need to put some more miners down at some point as well. Are we ever doing anything with... because we currently only got one set of legs. If we're doing Spidertron things, we will need more than that. Otherwise pretty fine. Fulgora getting on with stuff, doing the things. I think we're pretty happy with it.